How you doing? This is Coffee Break with Jimmy. You know, President Trump, no one gives him enough credit. I've liked President Trump since the beginning, since I've actually liked him before he ran for president in 2016. And when he did run for president, I actually became a Republican at that time. I wasn't a Republican before that. In fact, I was always an independent. In fact, Ronald Reagan was the first president I voted for. I voted for him, and then I voted for George H.W. Bush. And then his second go-around, he lied to us and said, read my lips, no new taxes. And what did he do? He raised the taxes right away. So I voted for Ross Perot. And then I voted for Ross Perot again. And he didn't win either time. But then I actually voted for Bill Clinton because Bill Clinton was actually, and he's a Democrat, but I voted for him in his second administration, his second go-around. And then after that, of course, I voted for George W. Bush both times. And so it doesn't, I wasn't one that's going to just vote Republican or one. I voted my conscience, what I thought was best for our country. And right now, Donald Trump is the best for our country. I mean, I did say something in my last podcast. Will he run in 2028? I mentioned this a few times. I'd like to see it, and I actually think he could. I think it's legitimate. I mean, come on, the guy got ripped off in the 2020 election. We all know that. Joe Biden. I mean, he signed a document in 2018. I think it was a PED. I talked about PEDs in my last podcast. And, this is something, PED, that started with the Eisenhower administration. And Jimmy Carter signed one when Iran took over their country. The mullahs took over their country, and they exiled the Shah. And actually, they assassinated or hung a lot of his administration for the Shah. And since then, they said they were going to kill the United States, kill Israel, big Satan, little Satan, all that stuff. But Donald Trump has been the best president we've ever had. And I've gotten to where I've trusted him. I mean, it's almost like things that he says. Sometimes there'll be some things that he says that just doesn't make any sense at first, but then you start thinking about it and say, you know what, this guy's got a point there. And they're just almost anything that he does, I'm behind, except Christopher Columbus Day. Christopher Columbus is not Italian, he's Portuguese. But that's beside the point. But Donald Trump, I've liked him ever since he's been in office in 2016, and I think he should get another run. That's my opinion. I think we ought to visit the 22nd Amendment, whether the 22nd Amendment was constitutional or not. Some say it was, some say it wasn't. But you know what? He got screwed out of the 2020 election. Usually a president runs 2 terms simultaneously, and they get things done. They get all their policies in place, and they get whatever they're going to get done. They're going to usually get done in an 8-year span. Although Donald Trump has done more in his first 4 years, and he's done more in the last 2 years, not even 2 years yet, that he's done more than any other president has. And so I'd like to see him run again. Of course, nobody really knows if he wants to or not. That's up to him. But he's got people. He's got Marco Rubio. He's got J.D. Vance. I think J.D. Vance is still a little bit too young to be president, although he is vice president. And, I mean, he'd be in line to be president if something happens to President Trump. But I like Marco Rubio. I do like Ron DeSantis also. So we've got a few Republicans that really could stand out and do the job and carry on the MAGA movement. But personally, I'd like to see Trump get 2 of them in a row, 2 administrations in a row. I think what he's done with this one, I think right now with Iran, cost of living has gone up a little bit, gas has gone up, but it's come back down. And it's something that's going to get better in time. As soon as Iran is done, we've got to end that. We have to end that regime, not the country, because the people of Iran, I would say 95%, and some people say 99% of Iranians want their country back. They want some sort of democracy there, because that what they had that with the Shah. Maybe that could happen again. I don't know, but I know the people of Iran really want this. And so what Trump has done, I mean, I talked about the cash cow. The senators and congressmen, they've all said the same thing. They've all, used millions of dollars just to get their seat, to get elected, and then somehow or another they get rich really fast. And this is their cash cow. Donald Trump threatens that, and he's threatened that to this day. He's going to get things back in line. We're not going to spend money frivolously like we have in the past. We're going to spend money like we're not going to have the $500 toilet seat or the $500 hammer like they have in the military, because they allot so much money to go different things. And so that maybe even some of the people, I talked about the little screws that go in the turbojet engine. They're like $500 or $50 a piece, when I can buy a box of 20 of them for $1.20 at the local hardware store here in town. I think that all that money is that's called legal, if you will, legal fraud. So we have fraud. We have fraud that's in hospice and different medical fields. We could talk about big pharma all day long. They've been ripping us off too. Let's face it, and that's been going on for a long time. So all this stuff is going to come to an end, but you guys have got to hang tight and vote. I mean, we have to get the voters, the Save America Act. We have to pass that. I've said that in my last several podcasts. We have to pass the Save America Act. This thing where Thune, we had to go on a recess for the Senate. Well, you know what I say? I say, put the midterms off. Put them off for a couple of weeks. We have to take time off. We have to pass the Save America Act. That's legal voting. We've been wanting this. That's an 85% of the country. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, all of us want legal voting. We have to pass that. And I don't know if that can happen. I don't know if they can put the midterms off for a couple of weeks. Maybe they can. There's a lot of things that they said it couldn't be done before. They did it anyway. I mean, look at COVID-19. COVID-19. When they signed was it 2018 or 2017, when Donald Trump said, "Hey, look, watch out for voter fraud." He signed that. I believe that was a PED. He signed that and said, we got to watch out for voter fraud at this time. And well, we did have voter fraud. It came in as COVID-19, and then we had to follow the scientists. We had to follow the leaders. Fauci. And Burke and Redfield. Now Redfield, I think he started backing off because he started thinking this isn't right. This isn't working. What we're doing right now, we're just going too far, he thought. And now it's all been proven now. Of course, now Fauci, we talked about the Fauci diaries. That's all came out. So this is all. So you younger people, I'm going to go back to this, okay? You younger people that didn't get a chance to finish off your high school education, or maybe didn't get a chance to really start your college education off right, and you guys really didn't get educated well, and now you're saying this socialism is the only way to go. Trust me, this is something that has never worked. Read up on it. Look into it. Socialism is a borderline communism. It's also fascism. They're all connected. The only thing that's different is capitalism. And the reason the United States, I heard this the other day, and I'll end on this, but the thing is, we can protect ourselves from other countries, from other things happening, from other countries coming to the United States. Other countries aren't designed for this, okay? We have an ocean. We got the Atlantic Ocean on one side. We got the Pacific Ocean on the other side. You really can't attack us because we got the oceans that keeps everybody apart. We can't bring in navies and stuff because they can shoot off missiles and stuff, but we're still a distance from everybody, okay? And then we have the first two amendments. The First Amendment is we have the right to speak, and the Second Amendment was we have a right to bear arms. Come into this country, come after us, and we will fight you. The Americans will do that. Americans, that's what we do. We won't let anybody take us over. We will fight you, okay? Understand that. We have that freedom of speech, and we get the freedom to bear arms. Now, you don't have that in any other country. There's some countries that have similar things, similar laws that take place. You got some things, some leeway. But some of these countries, you got China, Russia, all these other big countries that, hey, I mean, come on. And some of these Muslim countries, these big Muslim countries, Turkey and whatever. I mean, they don't, all those of you that are all LGBTQ and are lesbians or gay, you couldn't survive in those countries, okay? Because they'll either throw you off a building, put you in a hole and stone you to death. They don't believe in that stuff, okay? And here in the United States, you have the freedom to do that. You have the right to do that. It's not something a lot of people agree with, but you have the right for that. That's a right that you have being a U.S. citizen. And so we have a lot of rights here, and we also have the right to bear arms, and we'll kick your ass if you come to this country. Believe that. Anyway, please, pass the Save America Act. This has to be done. Follow Donald Trump. He's doing the right thing for the rest of us. Just hang in there. Vote in, we need to keep the House. We need to keep the Senate. And for Donald Trump to get his policies done. Now, whether he runs again in 28 or if he even can. Personally, myself, I'd like to see him do it. But that's up to him as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, hang in there, all right? Hang in there. And you younger people that don't really know what's going on, socialism is not the way to go. Look into it, read up on it. Read up on the history of socialism, communism, and anarchism. It's this whole thing. It's all isms, socialism and communism. It's never worked for any country ever, and it's not going to work for our country. Capitalism is the only thing that works. Okay. This is Coffee Break with Jimmy. Please subscribe, hit that like button, share, and hit that notification bell so next time I'm on. We'll see you then. Thanks.